Hey guys, welcome back. Today on The Untidy Artist, we are making homemade snowballs. These are made with a foam ball and epsom salts and glitter, and I thought they were sparkly and so cute and thought it would be fun to do a tutorial. So let's grab a few things and get started. The first thing you'll need is some styrofoam balls. I found this 3-pack at the dollar store. Just about every craft store should carry them, and I've even seen them at my local grocery store. They also come in a lot of different sizes. The next thing you'll need is some acrylic paint. Obviously, for a classic snowball, you'll want white paint, but I've also done them in turquoise and silver, and I thought red would be fun as well, so it's just totally up to you. Then you'll need some Mod Podge glue, and I'm using the glossy, a little foam paintbrush, and some Epsom salts. I found this pack at the dollar store. You can find it at the grocery store, in any pharmacy, and it's very inexpensive. And then this part's optional, but I loved the sparkle it gave my snowballs. I am using some iridescent glitter in fine and coarse glitter, and then to help out the process, I'm using some toothpicks. And then you'll need a container to mix your salt and glitter in. This is just a plastic container I'm recycling that had some chocolates in it. You will want to use a bowl for this part. The shape of the bowl helps as we cover the balls with the Epsom salts. Make sure that you're using something that it's okay to get glue on. Okay, the first step is to paint your foam ball with some of your acrylic paint. Now I just put mine on this little piece of cardstock here because I thought it would be easier for you to see how I do it. Grab one of your toothpicks and stick it into your foam ball, maybe down about 1/4 of an inch. This will give you something to hold on to while you're painting your foam ball. Grab your foam brush and your paint and start to paint your foam ball. I found it was easiest to dab the paint onto the foam ball because the styrofoam is porous. Some of it will absorb into the foam ball, so you will need to use quite a bit of it. You don't want to see any of the little spaces in the foam ball. Continue to apply the paint until you have a nice even layer over the entire ball. And then wait for it to dry. And I'm not a patient girl, so this is probably the hardest part. And then while it's drying, grab your Epsom salts, and it's just crazy how much Epsom salts look like snow, and it's just really pretty. And I poured some in my bowl. You'll want to determine how much you need, kind of depending on how many of the foam balls you're planning on making, and then start dumping your glitter in. And I put probably about 1/2 cup of my coarse glitter in the bowl, and then probably about 1/8 cup of the fine glitter into the bowl. It just depends on how sparkly you want them, so add more or less depending on how you like it. And you can always go back and add more salt if you need more salt. So I started out, there's probably about 1 cup to 2 cups of the Epsom salts in my bowl there, and it covered about 9 or 10 of my little balls. And then grab your Mod Podge glue and a foam brush and start to apply the glue in the same way that you applied the paint. So just dabbing it onto your foam ball, and you'll add a lot of the glue. You want a nice, even, thick layer of the glue all over the ball, and this is where the toothpick comes in handy. You can stick the toothpick in the ball, and it just makes applying the glue and the paint a lot easier. And once it's completely covered, then leaving the stick in it, I place my little foam ball into my Epsom salts and start to just gently roll it around, and then I grab a handful and sprinkle it around the top by the toothpick. And what this will do is it'll cover up the glue so it's not sticky there, and then I place my hand over the ball and pull out the toothpick without getting glue everywhere, although I usually end up with glue all over my hands anyway. So then you're just going to roll your little ball around in your Epsom salt and glitter mixture, evenly coating the ball. And I roll it and roll it, pressing the glitter into the glue until I have a nice even coat all over the ball. And once you have it evenly coated, you'll want to let it dry. I like to let mine dry overnight. You'll notice that a lot of the salt and the glitter will come off of the balls even after they're dry, so I just like to hold mine over my Epsom salts and kind of pat them so any of the extra salt that didn't stick to the glue comes off. And that's it, guys. So cool. You have snowballs. You can easily put a piece of wire into these and hang them from a Christmas tree, or I put a little bowl of them by my Christmas decorations and they look like snowballs. They're so sparkly and pretty. This is a great project to do with kids over the holiday break, and this is definitely one of my favorite new ways to decorate for the holidays. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this tutorial, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up. If you have any comments or questions, post those below. If you haven't already subscribed, please do. I really appreciate your support, and we'll see you next time.